Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the Defiance ETFs distribution rates for the month of January 2024, because you're not going to get paid for this until next month. With that being said, let's get it. So before I get started on this, just want to let you all know that this is going to be a video in advance for tomorrow. So there will be no video tomorrow, just so you guys are aware of that. I was actually going to do this tomorrow, but it turns out that they announced it early before their declaration date. So let's get into it. So, with that being said, the first one we're going to take a look at is IWMY, which is the Russell 2000 Enhanced Options Income ETF, the Defiance version. So, the distribution rate as of basically next month is going to be 57%. So, that's pretty good. Again, this is a monthly payer. The current price is actually pretty up there. It's above $20, which is good. So this is what the dividend payment is going to be per share owned. You will get paid this dividend on the 4th of next month. So if we take a look at the calendar, it's going to be a little bit more than a week until that payment date. So that's really not that far, honestly. We have actually also purchased some shares of IWMY in advance of the X date just to get some exposure. We already have the other two. We might as well own the third one too, right? So with that being said, it's $1 per share. It is slightly less than last month, but again, a pretty common theme with these options premium ETFs or dividend option ETFs is that the payments are kind of sporadic. They're never really consistent. So it's pretty much to be expected. So with that being said, we'll take a look at the next one, which is QQQY. I was actually a little bit surprised by this, but the distribution rate is not as high this month, which is a bit odd because the S&P and the NASDAQ have kind of really been ripping pretty hard in December. So I do find that to be a bit odd, but QQQY currently is 40%. So the payment, unfortunately, is only going to be 62 cents for the month. But again, 62-cent dividend for basically an $18 stock. That's, I don't know about y'all, but that's a pretty good deal. So we've recently been buying PIMCO Dynamic Income Fund, which is roughly about the same price. It's just under $18, but it only yields 22 cents a month. So you're still getting triple what we're buying on the side. So with that being said, we'll now get into the last one, which is probably arguably my favorite because it represents the S&P, is at a 32% yield. So this is JEPY. And the current distribution rate as of right now is 50 cents per share. Again, it's not as much as last month. It does kind of seem to be trending down, but part of the reason for that may be so that the fund doesn't erode too quickly, which could actually be a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. So something I want to point out to y'all here is, so if we take a look at the previous month, I actually got to scroll up a little bit here to look at this, but if we take a look at the previous month, you can see that the between the declaration date and the payment date was roughly the end of November to the beginning of December. So we're going to scroll down here to the daily. You guys can kind of see the obvious payouts here, these gaps that happen. So you kind of see these gaps. This is clearly what when the distribution rate is taking place. And you can see that the price is kind of slowly trending down over time. So this pretty clearly is an after effect, basically, of the distribution rate being so massive. So in my opinion, even if they cut the dividend back to 50 or 60 cents per share or even 40 cents per share, that's actually still a good thing, because in order for the prices to go up over time, to appreciate over time, the dividend has to be slightly smaller in terms of the actual payment amount. So kind of basically the reason why we haven't bought any QQQY and JEPY is because we wanted to see if it could recover the price or even surpass the previous price before the previous distribution amount. And from the look of it, it basically covered that gap, but it has not succeeded the previous price yet. But with a smaller dividend payment and with the markets going up, it's possible that these Defiance ETFs could still pay an amazing yield, although not as high as before, but the price could also appreciate as well. So that's actually a good thing, believe it or not, because if the fund goes to zero, which I'm not saying it will, I don't believe it will. Nobody would be getting paid a dividend, just so y'all know. So again, we can take a look at JEPY, pretty similar thing. And IWMY, also a very similar thing. If it could at least maintain its value over time and pay a pretty juicy dividend, that would be definitely a good thing, I would say. So anyways, this is the Defiance ETF distribution rate for which we will all get paid out in the month of January. We'll show you guys, we're going to make a video on Sunday for our actual portfolios. You guys can see IWMY and all our positions and stuff like that. We're going to make that video on Sunday because unfortunately we cannot make a video on Saturday, and we're taking that day off this week. So hope you all enjoyed the content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.